Yeah, what's up, part two. I'm gonna try fly through this. So outdoors loadout, I'm gonna start from the bottom and work my way up. So I essentially have 4 guns for outdoors. You might be like, oh, that's overkill because you've only got 2 guns for indoors. I say I play less, I play a bit more indoors, but I find that indoors is very easy to pick loadouts for, I find, compared to outdoors. Because with indoors, you're gonna either face one of 2 things. It's gonna be mad indoors, so the whole site's gonna be indoors, and it's gonna be close quarters and lots of corners, lots of little rooms, which means that you're gonna either want a really short pistol or a semi-length pistol or a SMG style gun, or you have a CQB environments that's like outdoors, where it's like a mixture of indoors and outdoors buildings and long distances, like long hallways and things like that, which is the other side of stuff of CQB. Yeah, there's other things as well, like outdoor CQB and stuff, but I find that those 2 are especially UK and where I'm based, I'll speak about that. Where I'm based, those are the kind of environments that you're gonna come across, or even like warehouse style things where it's like a speed softers environment, so pistols come in mind. So it's why I've got 4 guns, because outdoors there's a lot more. You would face woodlands, then there's 3-4 different styles of woodlands, then you might have like fields that are like Newtown style fields, but some of them are spread out, some of them are not. Then you might have like jungle, like it's so weird. Like outdoors there's just so many different style sites. There's even paintball fields that they let you use for airsoft and stuff like that. Says why I've got 4 guns, because there's just so many different dualities or things that I might face. So it's like, depending on where I'm going, I just look at what the environment's like, and that's what lets me know what guns to take out, which is why I've got 2 pistols, 2 rifles. They all have different purposes though, so we'll get into that shortly. And again, I'm doing this because since the last video I've changed things, so we're gonna start with the things that's easy to talk about. You guys have probably seen this gun hundreds of times on the channel. It's my go-to outdoors pistol, because the thing will shoot 40-50 meters comfortably. I think the max I've got out of this is 60 meters. It was not accurate though, but I got 60 meters out of it. This thing will be accurate up to anywhere up to about 40-45 meters. Now from a pistol, a standard high Kappa 5.1, boy, that's amazing. Even the other day Prezi was using the gun, and he even came back to me and was like, what the hell did you do to that? Like, that thing's more accurate than my M4. So yeah, and all essentially is Vosk lower. I've made a few adjustments, still parts, because again, you're gonna put I run HPA, so the parts are gonna go through hell. So I wanted to make sure that they were as strong as I could potentially make them. What else have I done? I switched out this slider tool because I just didn't like Vosk's one for this gun. So I believe this one is from a SSP2. It's not as long, but it's more comfortable. I've got a grip from Nupro. It gives me the ability that if I ever need to camp up with the gun, I have that sniper effect. Plus it gives me the ability that when I need to support the gun and relieve some of that recoil, I can, because I find that the gun at points when you're overshooting can recoil a bit when you're constantly shooting back to back to back. Whereas with this, you get a very consistent, the slide will move, but the gun itself stays stable. So that's why I've set it up like that. Upper from a SSP2, muzzle flash front cover from a SSP2, by Novarich. The internals, I believe everything is SSP5 internals apart from the nozzle and the housing. That's a SSP2 nozzle and housing, but the barrel, the bucking and stuff like that, because I'm not sure if you can see it in there. If you can see it in there, it's got purple Novarich GBB bucking, which, yeah, we won't even go into that, but great gun. Again, I run a M4 high cap adapter because it's just fun, it's effective, it gives me the ability to run high caps or mid caps depending on the scenario environment I'm in. And to be fair, I keep this one in the loadout because this is like when all else fails. If every other gun broken fails, this will always work, and it will work in whatever environment, whether it's close kill house CQB environments or it's an outdoor muddy ass field, it will still work. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is kind of like my when all else fails, I know this will work. plus it's just so responsive. It's cool. It has the rainbow effect on that, has the rainbow effect trigger. It gives me the charging handle. It's basically like when I first came into airsoft and I thought about my ideal pistol that wasn't a Glock, this is literally it. Like, this is literally it. Them guys who spend £800-900 on high capper builds, I'm like, I really don't understand why you've done that, because I probably in total probably about 350, and that's including the adapter and everything. And keep in mind, I bought 2 weapons and just put them together and changed out some parts. So you do the math. Whereas the people who spend 800 quid, they don't have 2 guns. It's literally parts for 1 weapon that they spent that 800-900 quid on. But I'm not here to judge. It's your choice, it's your money. I also do at points run the MP5 style adapter. So if I ever am gonna use this for CQB, I tend to run the MP5 just because it's a bit more low profile. It allows me to cut corners a bit faster. It interferes less with my wrist/arm area, and when doing turning things like this or going around corners and stuff, it just makes for better movement, and it's lighter to carry. So, and you can carry a lot more of these compared to M4 mags. Also, as a backup, I tend to keep a longer version of the same style mag because they're handy to have. This holds 120, I think it is, or 130, one of them, and this holds 65, so you know the difference. And it kind of just is cool. It gives the gun like this cool sci-fi look, I find. I kind of like both of them, to be fair. Yeah, I kind of like both of them, to be fair. I feel like the low profile has its benefits as well. It just kind of makes the gun like look like a small SMG style thing. But yeah, that's that bad boy. So yeah, it just depends on the environment, what setup I tend to run this bad boy with. And again, it's down to preference. You know what I'm saying? Some people will swear by the 65 rounds, some people swear by the 110. For me, it's about how often you want to reload, because you're gonna always lose 23 rounds or 30 rounds depending on what style mag you have on the adapter. Like, I believe one of these are TM and one of them are, I'll tell a lie, no, both of them are Vosk. Yeah, both of them are Vosk. I believe that's Vosk as well. Yeah, that's Vosk. I had a TM one. I think that's the one on the other adapter. Okay, so we move swiftly on. Recently, I bought this bad boy. Yeah, perks of being an Airsoft channel. I got sent a discount code which basically made this thing cost near enough nothing. So I was like, why not invest? I needed a secondary because technically I've got no secondary. The only secondary I've got in all my loadouts is the Glock. And to be fair, as much as I love the Glock, because it takes a lot of brain power to run that gun and keep an eye on that gun, because there's so many things that could potentially go wrong, I wanted something that could just sit inside my belt no matter what I took out. So even if I took out this bad boy or I took out one of the rifles, I just had something that could sit in the belt for them scenarios where, say, enemies come around the corner and I'm in the middle of a reload, I can just drop my rifle, grab this, and I'm on them. I also wanted something for, say, I'm getting up and close and personal and I really don't want to harm somebody too much, as opposed to backing up my DMR and slapping them at 10 meters. Because my DMR is sight legal, it shoots like an M4, but still, like, it's just not nice. Because if I shoot you from 10 meters with that, you're gonna know about it, whereas if I shoot you with this, it's gonna sting, but you're not really gonna complain. You're just gonna be like, hit and then walk off kind of thing. So I wanted something that basically always is on me, so you always see this about. This is basically a Vosk high capper 3.8 version, which is where it's a lot shorter than my 5.1. I did that on purpose. I went for something small, something that if I ever wanted to CQB, it would work because it's so short, and something that was as accurate as, say, something like this bad boy, but a lot more shorter and compact. And I love the rail system on it. It feels lovely in the hand. Comes with 23 round mags. It runs gas mags, it runs CO2 mags as well for them colder days. Say I'm out in the woodlands for a whole hour, because some of them games are really long. A whole hour, I might bring 2 or 3 canisters and just a few, like a 300 round speed loader, because then I can refill this back to back. I would rarely use it in that kind of environment, but this gives me the ability, like I'm saying, say I spot an enemy, and if I run at him with my rifle, I won't have time to kill him. I might park up my rifle, grab my pistol and creep slowly and take him out quietly, take out his mate quietly, go back, get my rifle and continue the gameplay. So it's why I went for this, because it just gives me options. There's been many times in games that I have to walk off and leave to opponents because the gun I have on me, I can't take out 3 or 4 of them and make it out alive. Whereas with something like this is a game changer, because I could pick one of them off by the time his team member clocks. He's unsure where I am because I've taken cover, drop my rifle and then creep on him with the pistol, because I know it will shoot a certain distance and it's gas blowback, and I might be running, say, the CO2 mag. I'm definitely going to hit you and it's going to cycle correctly because the CO2 canister. So yeah, it's why I've gone for this bad, but I love it. The recoil feels lovely. It's a nice short weapon. I could see myself at points using it in CQB just to trial it, because one of my things was I wanted to stress test this, and I've put probably about 30k rounds through this bad boy, maybe 40k rounds through this bad boy. I wanted to see if I could catch up with this, try and maybe put 20-30k rounds through within the first month of having it, just to see if I have any breakages, because where this is the Vengeance edition, I don't have a lot of knowledge on this edition compared to the amount of knowledge I have on the stock editions of the high cappers. Like, I could tell you everything about these stock high cappers. With the Vengeance, as much as some of the parts are the same, some of the parts are different. Like, I can see, for example, the tail release, it looks slightly different. The magwell is definitely different. The beaver tail feels, I don't know where it is, like maybe it's the same beaver tail, but it feels slightly different the way it seats into the hand. It feels like it's meant to be there, whereas with my other one, it feels nice, but it doesn't feel like it's meant to be there. It feels like someone's made it to be there. So yeah, so there's so much, and it just feels nice, and I could see myself comfortably shooting this with one hand, whereas I feel like with the 5.1s, just for the sake of stability, it is nicer to have the grip. So yeah, essentially I just wanted something that always sits in the belt, would always give me backup options, was always reliable, and something that wasn't crazy expensive. Like, I feel like when I looked at this, the most expensive one I was able to find was for 139, and it was because it was a special edition, special color, and it came with extra mags and stuff. This version was up for 100 quid. I can't tell you what I paid for it because I used the discount code, and you won't have that discount code, so it would be wrong of me to brag with the price that I paid. But for 100 quid, you can't go wrong. They've got the gold and black and silver edition for 110, I believe it is 120, and then they've got a pink, I think it's pink, purple and grey edition for 120 or 130, which, to be fair, I know some people be like, oh, you can buy a 5.1 for that price from Vosk. It's like, yeah, but this is basically meant to be the custom version of that gun, so you're essentially getting a better weapon for the same price. So choice is yours. I've got both of them, so it's why I don't really mind, and it gives me the chance to compare the two. Yeah, I think we should keep it moving. I haven't taken this out to a game yet, so as I game this, I will update you guys how I feel about the weapon, because all I've done is shoot testing at home, zeroed it in, put maybe 2-3 mags worth of tracers through it just to see how the tracing works, and yeah, it's just sat dormant. We're going out this weekend to Splatoon, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's that. Give me 2 seconds and I will get on. So unlike the other 2 weapons I just showed you, one is my secondary and will run as my secondary 24/7. So I'd probably have, I'll show you quickly, I'd probably have this bad boy here and the DMR, or this bad boy here and the AR-15. So that's essentially the plan here. The other high capper you see, it's its own loadout or its own primary. So there's a chance you would see me on the field, depending on what game we're playing, what environment, you would see me on the field with that pistol and this holstered. because what I'm doing is giving myself the option again that I have a main weapon I'm using, but if there's malfunctions or I run into a reload issue or just anything happens, it's 2 seconds, draw from the waist, dash a mag in it, boom, I'm on them straight away. It gives me a chance to plan my reload or plan what my next move is, etc. Shipment style maps, anyone who plays that, you know there's some sticky things that happen and you end up having to walk back to the safe area to sort it out. Whereas if I have a secondary, it's like, nah bruv, let me just put that weapon to the side, or let me just drop it to the floor for a sec, let's clear the area with this, check that I'm safe, go collect back my pistol, and then I can move and do whatever, sort out whatever the issue was, the malfunction or whatever, especially if I'm running something like a kit gun. So that's that. So I'd have my 3.8 Vengeance, and then I would tend to either run the DMR or the AR. Some might say to me, why do you have AG style rifles? The simple answer to that is just the shooting distance. The DMR is stock Lancer Tactical LT30. There's been a few changes. I've changed out the motor for a high torque motor as opposed to the 28k or the 25k motor that comes with it. The barrel and all of that stuff is stock, although I do plan to change the bucking very shortly. I've dashed a red dot on it from Strike. What else have I done to it? There's been a rebuild on the gearbox because there were some parts that got broken. I bought this weapon second hand from one of my boys. There were some issues in the gearbox. He ended up switching out the parts from, I think it was, no, it comes stock 18:1, and I think the gears he bought for it is a 20:1, so it is quite fast. It's quite a fast DMR. Like, I remember doing a test the other day and I got something like 33 rounds per second. So for DMR, that's very good because DMR tends to only shoot semi. Although I do plan to run this only on semi because it's a longer style weapon, so holstering it can, or chest shouldering it should I say, can be a bit annoying depending on how far you have this stock extended. If you have it extended out here, it does become kind of like a sniper, but it does feel comfortable. And if you wear it far in like this, it's more shorter and clutchable, like an AR style rifle. I've chucked a flashlight on it. The flashlight's work in progress at the moment. I'm trying to buy a new pressure pad, so anyone who knows a great pressure pad that will fit on the back of this style flashlight, let a brother know, because I could do with that. What else can I talk to you guys about? I put like this carbon effects because I didn't like the LT markings. Like, I just feel like they look a bit cheesy. They made the gun look very cheap and cheesy. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but the gun just looks cheesy with the LT markings. So I put carbon fiber tape. I think that's what it's called, carbon fiber, one of them. Effect tape on areas like so, little areas, just to give it that cool effect, because then you look at the gun and you see the gold detailing, but then you also see the black detailing, but then you also see this carbon effect on specific areas of the weapon. So yeah, I probably have to burn it a bit better on there because there's some areas that's starting to lift, but keep in mind I did this when I was half asleep earlier, so considering it came out pretty well. And to be fair, I'll probably redo it just to be safe, burn it back on. But yeah, so this is why I have this bad boy. It tends to run 11.1 volt batteries. I tend to get, it's so crazy, like I tend to get, and this might sound like cap, but I tend to get like 50 meters out of this weapon depending on what weight I use. If I use, it's so weird how this weapon works. So with other style weapons, like say the high capper pistol 5.1 I showed you, that the higher weight I go up is the further distance I'll get. But lightweights will get to similar distance. So I'll give you an example. The max on that weapon is 60 meters, and that's at a push. But that's with fours, or let's say fours, with fours. But if I shoot twos out of that weapon, I could get 40 meters or 45 meters, but it would get there a lot faster, and the shot would be less consistent, but it would get there faster. Does that make sense? Because it's a lighter weight BB, it would vary, it would fly a bit more, and the fly pattern would though it's lighter, it would fly through the air a bit more softer. Does that make sense? Whereas with a heavier weight, it would trail the air better because it's heavier. But I find the lighter weight I go in this is the more consistent shooting I get. So if I use, say, 3.6s, it will shoot well because 3.6 is a good distance, but the hop up doesn't like it. That's a mad heavy weight for AR style gun. If I use something like a 2.8, I'll get a lovely shot from it. But again, the hop up doesn't really like that weight. If I use a 2.5 or 2, that thing will shoot 50 meters comfortably, and it will give me a straight shot. Like the other day, I shot in my back garden for about 40 meters, and even me, I was surprised how consistent it would shoot to the same place at 40 meters, and how clear the fly pattern was to my eyesight. Because often with ARs, especially GBBs, are like this. It's like it will shoot, but you're not even sure if you shot the person because you can't see where the BB's kind of gone. With this, it removes that problem. It's almost like a sniper shot from an AG. It's so cool. That's why I've kept this gun, and I was like predominantly trying to buy this weapon off my boy for about a year and a half, until he actually gave up and was like, I'm trying to sell it. There was a few issues I went through with it because he done the gearbox rebuild. It had problems. It just wouldn't load BBs and stuff like that. 2-3 nights ago, I took it completely down and did a full rebuild myself, and luckily was able to get to work. That's why I switched out the motor to the higher torque one, because I just feel like the higher torque gives you that consistent 40-50 meter shot. And like I said, from an AEG, mind blown, because this is what I've been looking for since I came into the game. All the GNGs that I bought and all the things you see me buy, the LT 35s and all these things that you see me buy, this is what I was trying to achieve, what I now get from this weapon. So when I'm going for like that slower gameplay, that sniper style effects, that camp every so often gameplay, I tend to bring this bad boy out. If I'm going for the more quick runabout effect, clear corners, clear team assault technique, I tend to go for the AR-15 because it's a bit more lighter. The red dot is a bit more raised, so I don't have to drop my head as much to see it. It's also got the flashlight at the front, so again, clearing areas is an easy thing. It has the tracer at the front, so again, it gives me that fun effect that if I want to run a mad lightweight and be able to see where my shots are going, and the environment slightly dark so you can fully see the traces, yeah, I tend to bring this bad boy out because it just delivers. It's a great performer. I've changed a lot since you guys have seen the last video, so it now has a 25k motor in there. I made some adjustments to the hop up. I didn't change too much, but there's a few tweakings I did just so that the shots would be a bit more tight knit and I would lose less air per shot. What else have I done to this? 25k motor, the shot thing. What else did I do to this? I can't remember now, but there was a few things that was done to this. And again, similar, I put the carbon effect, and you know what? Because I can genuinely see some of these carbon things coming off, especially if it starts to rain. So I just want to make sure that they're actually on properly. I probably have to go back over them, and I feel like because I did them today, like I said, when I was half asleep, I don't feel like they're done to perfection, but I kind of like that a little bit because it gives the gun like this rough effect feel, if you get what I mean, which is kind of what a gun's meant to be. If your gun's so sweet that your gun's sweeter than your girlfriend, then she basically is your girlfriend. Not to judge nobody, because boy, some of these guns are basically my chick, but you get what I'm saying. Like, don't enjoy the sport, but don't let the sport rule your brain. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, what else can I say? Like, outdoors loadout, there you are. I got the 2 pistols, one for secondary, which is the 3.8 Vengeance, one which is the 3rd rifle, if you want to call it that. And yeah, if I'm trying to play sniper / DMR style gameplay, slow camping, I tend to go for this bad boy. If I'm going for the fast, clear areas, special ops type gameplay, I tend to bring out the AR. And then if I'm going for literally just chasing, running, ducking, diving, I tend to bring out the one I showed you a bit earlier, which is this bad boy, which is basically the 3rd rifle in the loadout. So it goes Number 1 for long distances, number 2 for mid-range speed gameplay, and then number 3 for if we're just trying to go crazy speed softer with it. Yeah, that's everything. I'm proud of myself. I was able to clear this video up in 45 minutes. I've gone through 2 loadouts, 4 guns? 2, 3, 5 guns, plus accessories, which is nice. I didn't talk heavily about mags on this side of stuff, but it's because I tend to just run all my M4 style mags for, if you noticed, M4, M4, M4. Do you know what I'm saying? They all chamber in the same thing. So I tend to just run the same things. I run 2 high capacity mags, 2 mid cap mags, and then I've got about 6 MP5 mags if I end up using the MP5 adapter. Yeah, thank you for being with me today. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for even taking your time and watching another version of the same video, just updated. And like, share, subscribe. If you haven't shared a video or this channel with a friend, share, because we're trying to push for this 500 subscriber mark. And I am due, when we hit 500 subscribers, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I've been saying this, I'm just gonna do a giveaway. There'll be no tickets, you don't have to buy anything. It will literally be like, share, subscribe, and you'd have to like all the pages, subscribe to all the pages, and then you'd give us your username, and then at the end of the month we'll put your names in a generator. A generator will randomly pick 1/2 people at random, and you guys will receive some prizes. I'm hoping for the prizes to be a custom built high capper by me, and I'm hoping for the second prize to be a tracer built by me. But again, don't quote me on the tracer, because again, if I can't get the parts in and all these things, but the high capper, I can definitely do that for you guys, because I've got my eyes on something right now that I want to buy, and I want to do some upgrades to, and I want to give away on the channel. And then obviously the person who gets the giveaway can receive the gun, review it, tell me how they feel about it, etc, etc. But until the next one, because like I said, I gotta be up early hours of the morning, so I'm gonna love y'all, I'm gonna leave y'all, and I'm gonna say like, share, subscribe, and until we next meet, people, this is your boy Yardman9, and we out.
Guys that hate me, the girls got me on replay. Now my numbers be climbing, I keep it steady, grinding, claim they got my back. I dropped my music support, never found it. God the greatest, my kids return back home. I nearly lost my mind, but that ish gave me backbone. Through the absence, I learnt about Job, patience.